What is up, guys? My name is Chase, and I'm trying this new challenge where the only news I believe are leaks and rumors. And according to my news sources, there's a new Switch out right now. I got a Fortnite Funko Pop. It feels like years since rumors started going around about a new upgraded Switch model called the Switch Pro. It's no secret that the Switch isn't really on the same level as the big boys, the PlayStation and the Xbox. If you look at pretty much any multi-platform game, the Switch version usually sticks out like a sore thumb. So I think many people have been clamoring for a new up-to-date Switch model. And for a while there, it was looking pretty positive that we would be getting a new Switch model soon. Only for Nintendo to crush all of our hopes and dreams by saying that there is no new Switch model planned for 2021. Since Nintendo won't give it to us, here's my top 5 wish list for the Switch Pro. The first thing I would want to see from a Switch Pro is a larger and higher quality display. That's not to say that I want the Switch to be larger. In fact, it would probably be best if they kept the Switch Pro the same dimensions as the current Switch, but they just need to get rid of these ugly things. Imagine if they kept the Switch Pro the same size, but just shrunk down the bezels so that the screen covers more of the front of the device. I think it could make a huge difference. Also, the 720p screen on the Switch isn't the worst sin ever, but a 1080p upgrade would be nice to see on the Switch Pro. I mean, when it comes down to it, the current screen on the Switch works fine. If I'm stuck in a spot where I can't dock my Switch, sure, it works. But I would love to see the Switch Pro have a screen that is even clearer and better than the current one. The second thing on my Switch Pro wishlist is more powerful internals. As I mentioned earlier, the Switch can't really compare to the PlayStation and Xbox in terms of power, so it would only make sense for the Switch Pro to have some upgraded internals. And I know many people have been pointing towards the Switch Pro being capable of 4K, but I would honestly just be happy with 1080p at a higher and consistent frame rate and better performance when docked. Along with graphics and performance, I would also love to see the Switch Pro have an even better battery life. Granted, they did upgrade the Switch's battery life with the Switch V2 from between 2.5 to 6.5 hours to 4.5 and 9 hours. But if they can give the battery life even more of a push, that would be really great. The next thing on my Switch Pro wishlist is better airflow. I don't know if it's only me, but I noticed that my Switch can become a heater when I'm playing some intense games. The game that Nintendo likes to point to for performance tests is Breath of the Wild, which is a massive game, so it makes sense that it would start to push the limits of the Switch. But I also noticed that even if I'm playing some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, my Switch will start to heat up a bit. So I would love to see some improved airflow on the Switch Pro. Maybe that means more or larger air vents, just as long as it's still quiet and doesn't make you look sus while playing your Switch on an airplane. And third-party companies are already making accessories that supposedly fix the airflow of the Switch. It would just be nice to see it built into the Switch Pro. The fourth thing I would want to see from a Switch Pro is an improved dock. The Nintendo Switch dock has its shortcomings, from getting hot and causing the Switch to bend, to scratching the Switch's screen. Obviously, these are silly problems that need to be addressed on the next Switch, but also I feel like the Switch dock isn't the most substantial piece of tech ever. It has a somewhat cheap plastic feeling to it, like it doesn't even really feel like it has any technology built into it. It just kind of feels like a slab of plastic. And I mean, I guess it's nice because it makes it really lightweight and portable, but I would love to see a dock that gives off that powerful feeling of blasting the image onto the TV. Also, a more hefty dock would allow them to include more processing power when playing in docked mode. So a more substantial dock would be really nice. And by far, what I want most from a Switch Pro are upgraded Joy-Con. On paper, the Joy-Con are some of the most unique and useful controllers ever made. They pack in lots of cool features like motion control, they let you play your Switch in handheld mode or wirelessly, and they can even double as 2 separate controllers. However, in actual use, the Joy-Con have their shortcomings. And worst of all, many Joy-Con just don't work. The Joy-Con drift, as people call it, has been a pretty widespread issue. Personally, I don't think I experienced the Joy-Con drift the same way that other people have. The issue I've always had with Joy-Con is the unstable Bluetooth connection. Ever since I got my Switch in 2017, my Joy-Con would constantly stop recognizing inputs, or they would disconnect completely. It was to the point that I had to call Nintendo and send in my Switch to be fixed. But when I got it back, still the same problem. It turns out that the Bluetooth signal in the Joy-Con just can't handle being too far from the Switch. And depending on how you grip the Joy-Con, it can actually make the connection even worse. Similar to how the iPhone 4 suffered cell service issues if you held the bottom right corner. There are videos on YouTube showing how to mod the Joy-Con's Bluetooth yourself, but I can barely trust myself with building a Lego set. How do you expect me to tear apart a Joy-Con? So with the Switch Pro, I would love to see some better Joy-Con as well, maybe called Joy-Con Pros. I imagine that these would be more substantial feeling Joy-Con that allow for customization, similar to the Xbox Elite controller. They could have updated internals, such as a better Bluetooth signal, and they could use the same rail system as the original Joy-Con, so that they're still compatible with the original Switch as well as all of the Joy-Con accessories. I don't think Nintendo's gonna pump out a Switch 2 anytime soon. I think we're at the point of the Game Boy to the Game Boy Color, or like the 3DS to the new 3DS. We won't be seeing a brand new console, it's probably going to be more of like a half generation upgrade. It's interesting because I feel like most people have accepted the fact that Nintendo isn't really a part of the console wars the same way that PlayStation and Xbox are. Nintendo is that one kid that runs off into the flowers while everyone else is playing soccer. They're not really worried about being the most powerful console ever, they're just kind of in a league of their own. But I do think with these improvements, it'll at least give us Nintendo fans something closer to what the competition is offering. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see from a Switch Pro. If you want to see more of my Nintendo videos, make sure you check out some of the videos below. If you like this video, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and ring that notification bell. For now, thank you for watching. My name is Chase, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.